Cold wind blowing, shadows growing, creepy creatures in the night they're showing. Wee whispers filling up my mind, spooky shivers running down my spine.
Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Shivers podcast. Today we will be doing
a Halloween review. Welcome back, as Riley said. We finally reached it. We're doing our first movie review. I've waited so long to do this.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Making.
Every episode leading up to this has been fucking filler. Like this should have been the first episode.
This is what this podcast is. More or less.
This is what we started this podcast to do. Is movie reviews. So we started with a bunch of shit because we didn't have the right setup or gear or whatever.
Shit.
Crazy.
I
want to delete them.
Okay.
So yeah. First off, before we start, I want to apologise because the Pat Clifton episode, thank you so much for coming. Shout out to Patty. But holy fuck, I was editing that and I said bruh so many times. I went to edit them all out, but I would have lost like 20 minutes of footage.
Straight footage, yeah.
I would start...
I definitely didn't know you were like, yeah, bruh. I was like...
It's because I was nervous. Like, I'd start a sentence and end it with bruh. So I'd be like, bruh, can you believe how good Saw is, bruh?
I can't believe this shit, bruh.
Yeah, no, so that's... I'm working on that. No more bras.
No more bras from now on.
It's fucked.
It's not good. Not good.
So yeah, I'll be doing Halloween. I've got the synopsis here. We'll do like a non-spoiler run through of it, and then we're gonna sit down and watch it, and then we'll come back and run through it. So Halloween was directed by John Carpenter, released in 1978. It was one of the first slasher films, and John Carpenter also did the score for it, so the music. I think he started off as like a composer.
Okay.
It was also co-written. Fuck, I don't have the name. This is so embarrassing. We'll put this in after we watch it. It was co-written by John Carpenter and a woman, and I'm so embarrassed that I don't have that.
Rachel.
Yeah, I know. It stars Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis. This is Jamie Lee Curtis's first film. PJ Souls and Nancy Loomis in supporting roles, and it's set in Haddonfield, Illinois. So basically, it stars Michael Myers, who murdered his sister, and then he escapes his mental hospital on Halloween. And then he stalks Laurie Strode. And then Dr. Samuel Loomis is chasing him all night.
Wow, that's a synopsis, guys.
That's good. But anyway, I got a question for you first. When was the first time you watched this?
Oh, mate, I reckon it was like fucking 10 years ago.
I think I was about the same.
Yeah, I would have been about like 11 or 10 years old when I first watched this movie.
Yeah.
This film.
Did you like it on the first watch?
No, I loved it.
Yeah, it's fucking...
Even my 10-year-old brain was like, you know what?
This is good.
I like this shit.
This
We're just getting slashed and shit. Like, this kind of like, you know?
There's some good kills. I don't remember it too well. Obviously, that's been fucking almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But from what I do remember, it is awesome. And obviously, we're going to sit down and watch it. So
Shortly,
the original price was $300,000, which is... That's low.
That's not much to work with.
Like, even for a horror film, because horror films generally have lower budgets because they don't make much back, because there's a smaller audience, because most of them are for adults.
Yeah.
So that limits a lot of people that can see it.
Yeah.
But it made back $47 million in the United States and $23 million internationally.
Jesus.
And that's 70 mil all up, and it's highly regarded as one of the best horror films of all time. Which, you know, you can tell because
Still being referenced to this day.
Yeah, remade to death.
You know.
And then everything in the... So it came out late 70s. Everything in the 80s, that was the slasher craze. So you had like...
Oh my god.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, all that shit. It started a trend, and then it kind of petered out and died off and whatever. But obviously it started something because, fuck, it's good.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like one of the first films to kick off the craze, if you will.
Yeah. I love John Carpenter's other movies, like The Thing.
Work.
Oh,
yeah,
The Thing.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
Which we will be doing.
We will absolutely will be doing.
Alright, so yeah, we'll be back. We're going to go watch it, and then we'll see.
We're going to rate this shit.
We're going to rate this shit, so we'll see in a bit. Alright, we just finished it. Fuck. Okay, first off, it's so much shorter than than I remember.
Like an hour and 30 minutes tops, pretty much.
Yeah, like I remember
Yeah.
so much more happening, but it's brisk.
It's brisk.
It doesn't muck around.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think you said this when we were watching it. Like we were mixing up Halloween 2018 and just a few different ones and this and the original.
Yeah, no, what we were talking about before was that I felt like we got a lot of the events from the first like 5 originals mixed up with like this one movie.
Yeah.
It's like I swear more happened in this movie. I was like, no, it didn't. It's like fuck. It's been a while since I've actually seen it, but
Yeah.
honest reaction, I was like, for a lot of it,
Yeah.
and then it had some good cinematography moments.
100%. There's some amazing shots.
Bro definitely cooked with some of them scenes, but
Yep.
that dialogue, bro, oof.
It was a bit
was,
rough.
A bit rough to have to sit through a couple of it.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
there was definitely a few lines that could have been,
Delivered like 10 times better.
or like maybe a second take or third or fourth or whatever.
Definitely. Okay. Alright, it's like,
Yeah, we're back. We had
anyways,
technical difficulty.
technical difficulty, if you will.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was brisk,
But like
enjoyable.
enjoyable. Like, don't get me wrong, like solid movie still. Sort of holds up. I'd say like majority of it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But there were definitely a couple of scenes I don't remember, and I was like
Yeah.
watching it, just being like, interesting.
Yeah, I think we've been spoiled by modern movies because I don't think modern movies have the patience that this movie does. Because you look at the 2018 version, that just jumps straight into it.
Straight into the stabs. Yeah, no, like definitely.
But this
there was
one,
slow burn.
like the first kill obviously is in the intro when he kills his sister,
Mm.
and then there's an off-screen death. The mechanic or whatever he steals his jumpsuit
Yeah.
off-screen, and then the first kill, it was I checked the time code. It was an hour into it.
Yeah, no, like the majority of the movie is him literally stalking like his victims, more or less.
Yeah, which is wild.
Like fine. Like I thought it was fine. Like that concept of just like the slow burn stalking
Yeah.
has really been like left behind in modern movies.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of times now let's just kind of jump into it. But
Yeah.
there's actually a bit of like a breath of fresh air,
Yeah,
a bit of a slow original burner. It started it all.
that's it.
But I gotta admit, I find it interesting that it's considered a slasher, and there was like one slash to the neck, and then someone got stabbed.
Yeah, I think there was like less than 5 kills all up. I think.
Interesting.
All right, so okay, first of all, it was co-written by Deborah Hill. I'm so embarrassed I didn't have that written down. So the first thing in my notes is how good the fucking soundtrack is. The opening.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, bro cooked when he made that soundtrack. 'Cause he
100%.
just directed and made the film, and then just also made like a banging soundtrack that is still popular to this day.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Absolutely,
that's-
still being played like often.
It's the first thing I
Media.
think of when I hear Halloween.
Oh, soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay, so the film opens in 1963 at the Myers house, and it's like a POV shot where Michael's lurking around the house, and his sister, Judith, I think her name is.
Yeah.
She's got a boyfriend over, and then Michael is lurking around. He grabs a knife. He walks up the stairs, and then his sister's sitting there topless doing her hair or whatever, and she's like, oh, Michael!
And he just proceeds to
stabs her.
fucking yeah type shit.
It was a weird shot because
Yeah, like
the
I don't know.
the POV, the cameraman had the camera, and then the kid actor was next to him holding the knife.
on the knife made it look a bit.
It looks
creepy.
like it's like not attached to him. It's funny.
that overextend. Is,
Yeah. I mean, it's good. The opening is iconic. And then, it cuts to Loomis and a nurse driving, and there's like a big exposition dump where Loomis is telling this nurse how this guy's like, you need to be like on your toes with this guy. He's so fucking dangerous. You like, don't underestimate him.
They literally start calling him like Devil's
Yeah.
eyes. He's got them.
Yeah.
Like he's a monster.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we'll get to the prison break. So they pull up to the hospital that Michael is.
The Asylum Institute thing, alright?
Yeah. They rock up there, and the nurse says, "Oh, do they let them just wander about?"
Let the loonies run amok at night this time of hour.
Yeah.
Raining too.
Yeah, and then Loomis is shitting bricks because he's like, "That's
Oh my god.
something's up." And then he's like, "Just pull up to the front gate," and then he gets out of the car, and then Michael jumps on top of the car.
bro. I was like,
And then he chokes out the nurse.
But he tried to.
Oh, that's
Didn't
right.
get
Yeah.
very far.
Yeah. Yep. And then he.
Grabbed her hair.
Yep. And then she drives off into like a ditch.
Oh yeah, it just starts spinning out. Gets
She-
out of the car.
Yeah. She jumps out, and then he just drives off. Which
How does Michael know how to drive?
we need to talk about.
So what? He was 6 years old when he got taken to the asylum. 15 years past there for what? He's 21 years old.
Yep.
Ain't no way that motherfucker been staring at walls and they can just drive a car.
Yeah. It's probably
I
one
don't
of.
know. Very strange.
It is odd.
And the
'Cause-
fact that they mentioned it too.
Yeah, they brought it up in like another scene. I think it was like the next scene or whatever.
They were like, how does bro know how to drive?
And then Loomis is like, I don't know, but he was doing it.
know, he was doing it. Down to the rap. Like, great, okay, sick. Next one.
I'll defend this movie, but people talk about it all the time. This is like the big criticism of this movie is that, you know, how did he learn to drive? And any other movie, like a lesser movie, would just say they would just ignore it. They wouldn't even address it. But this movie,
Why'd they bring it up and then not follow it up? The fact that you brought it up means you have to follow it up, and they just didn't.
yeah,
Which I
Loomis's
felt-
answer was he was just driving.
It was you driving.
Come on.
Bro, like, nah.
Pull your head in.
Goofy as hell.
I think that's probably just off the bat. That's probably one of my only criticisms. Of this.
Criticisms, yeah.
Just plot wise, I've got a few other issues.
A few other discrepancies.
Yeah, we'll jump into that. So then we cut to Haddonfield, and it kind of just introduces a few characters. There's a group of teenagers. There's 3 girls. There's Laurie, Annie, and the third one whose name I cannot remember.
Abby?
Oh, fuck, I can't remember.
I think I'm mistaken. My bad, guys.
And yeah, there was just a lot of like, just banter between the 3 of them talking about getting high and drinking with their boyfriends or whatever.
Well, in saying that, like, Michael was actively pursuing them. Like, there were some clever scenes where he was, you know, very subtly in the background, and you're like, that's actually not bad cinematography for their age.
Yeah, he'd be
Considering it was like a first attempt as well. At
Yeah.
that kind of like genre.
Yeah. So he'd be, they'd be walking down the street, and then Mike would be driving along, and there was one scene, where he drives past them, and he looks out the window and slowly drives past them, and he's just looking at them.
Stalking him down, bro.
And then one of them yells, I think it's Annie, she yells out something to him, and then he slams on the brakes, and
Oh, I'd pass away if I did that in real life.
my
Absolutely.
heart stopped, bro.
Yeah, no, like, just, yap something to someone driving past and they just fucking put the brakes on. I'd be like, fucking see you later, boy. That's fun.
Yeah, that's something that this movie does well. There's not like a lot of jump scares. I think this movie just has a lot of tension.
Like, the entire, like, viewing experience is just unsettling
Yeah,
as you're watching this devil, if they say.
yeah.
Just stalk his victims.
This boogeyman.
Oh, yeah, Boogeyman, they keep calling that too. Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, and then there's another scene where they're walking home and Michael's just in front of them, and then
Straight there.
it cuts back to them, and then back to Michael, and he's gone.
Yeah, like, that's one thing I had an issue with, though. Like, the camera was clearly showing when Michael was outside,
Yeah.
and then it would pan to Laurie viewing Michael from outside.
Yep.
But during that whole time, she was looking at Michael, and then when it jumped back to viewing Michael down on the ground from the top floor window where Laurie was seeing him from,
Yep.
he was gone. But Laurie didn't react, so it's like she was watching him down near the clothesline, and then when we got to the shot
Yeah.
where she was looking at him, and then it jumped back to him gone, there was no reaction. So what the fuck? Did she just not see him walk away?
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Her eyes did not leave that area the whole time, and she just didn't react, and then he was gone, and she was like, oh my god, I'm so surprised. It's like, weren't you fucking watching him? Like, excuse me? Do your eyes not work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a,
Like, it's fine. It's not a huge issue.
minor nitpicks.
Yeah.
Perfection otherwise.
I mean, that's the thing with this movie. It is good, and all the negatives we're saying is just nitpicky stuff.
Nitpicks, yeah, more or less.
You could just ignore it. Like, she could have
Oh,
looked away or
Straight
whatever.
yapping. Yeah.
But no, it sometimes it does take you out of the viewing experience, like the immersion or whatever. But it's fine. It's fine. So then we're introduced to Sheriff Brackett, and he meets up with Loomis. So they meet in some like general store or whatever, and there's been a robbery,
Yeah.
and the sheriff is saying, "Oh, it was just some break-in. All he stole was a mask, a knife, and some rope." Which
Yeah, some rope which he like didn't even use.
no, we don't think we saw him use rope at all. And then after that, they go to, is it the Myers house first before the graveyard?
Yeah, they was chilling at in the house, and the kids try to go in and they're like, oh, it's haunted, and then Mike was just like lurking behind the glass.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty clever.
There's another scene where Loomis goes to the Haddonfield graveyard,
Yeah.
and
He's trying to find Judith Meyer's gravestone.
is that explained why?
It is not explained why. Like, we just watched the movie, guys. Like, no clue.
Like,
But,
I don't think there's any context as to why the first place Loomis goes is the graveyard.
but yeah, no, can we just talk about... He just pulled that entire headstone out the ground. There was no evidence of him digging.
Yeah, the dirt was completely undisturbed.
Bro really just went over there and just fucking, like, picked that shit up out the ground. Like, clean slate.
Yep.
Like, no shot. That shit would be like, what? Like 50, 60 kilograms easily?
More than that, surely.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
The size of it.
It's fine. That's another thing that's just like you can look past it. It's just weird that the dirt around it is
It's fine.
yeah.
There's just like this like perfectly symmetrical like rectangle where it's just been like picked up and like removed.
Yep.
Like, sure, okay.
That's
No,
fine.
But I will say though, you know, he does pick up that one guy with one fucking arm.
That's true. Yeah.
So I guess he's just like monstrously strong.
Yeah.
This is not explained.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So there's another scene where the sheriff and Dr. Loomis are at the Myers house because Loomis is under the impression that Michael's going to work his way back there, which he does.
He inevitably does.
Yeah. And they walk in the door and they turn to the right and there's a dead dog, and it's, I think it's, I don't know if they say, but I think it's implied that he ate it.
Yeah, it was.
Was it said?
They were yapping about how, like, what did he say? The Loomis said, well, obviously he got hungry, right?
Oh, that's right. He's got to eat or whatever.
Yeah, he's got to eat. Obviously, bro got hungry, and then it just was like, oh, there's no way a man would do that. And then Loomis was like,
He's no man.
Brackett said that, and then Loomis was like,
He's no man.
and then yeah, never showed the dog, which is probably for the better because I'm not a fan of watching the animals getting mutilated, but
Which is odd though, considering
it's an R-rated movie.
well, not even that. It's just that the Thing came before that, and that was not shy.
Straight like dog body horror.
Yeah, the fucking huskies.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't show the dog, which is fine. But all the scenes with the sheriff and Dr. Loomis, the whole time they're just back and forth talking about how horrible and awful and what a monster Michael is. That'll cut back to Michael just stalking or just lurking around, watching someone from a distance, and it's an odd fucking
Like,
juxtaposition is the word. Yeah, I think.
just like going back on what you said as well, like, they say he's a monster, he's a fucking demon, but it's like, hasn't he only got one kill and he was 6 years old? Like, that's pretty insane that they've given him this massive reputation and title. Like,
Yeah.
sure, Loomis watched him for 15 years, like, allegedly stare at a wall and not say a single word.
Mm.
Like, but fair enough, but like, that's a pretty hectic title considering you only have one fucking body,
Yeah.
like, body count, kill count.
He must just be a good doctor. He can just
He
tell.
must be a good doctor. He could just, you can see it in the eyes as he kept claiming
Yeah.
the devil, the blackness behind it, the darkness.
Yeah. So then Michael is at Annie's house, I think, and Tommy... So Laurie's babysitting this kid named Tommy, and they're at the house, at Laurie's house together, and then Tommy looks outside the window, and he's at Annie's house, and he's just standing there watching.
Yeah.
And then Tommy screams out, "Oh, it's the boogeyman! The boogeyman's there!" And then Laurie's like, "Shut up, idiot! There's no boogeyman." And then I think that's when it cuts to the next scene where Annie is in her house on the phone cooking popcorn, and her dog comes in and starts barking, and obviously that's a giveaway that, you know, Michael's this evil presence that dogs can sense or whatever. And then
Bro, just seeing breakfast right there in front of him, apparently.
yeah, and then the dog runs outside, and then Michael just fucking murks him.
Yeah, bro, you hear him like yapping like roo, 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 and then he's like "Roo," and we're like, oh no, like the fuck, and then yeah, he's like bear hugging him, like he's just crushing like this.
Yeah, it doesn't show you, which
which is a good thing.
I appreciate.
Don't want to scar my brain any more than it has been, I suppose. But
Yeah.
no, like he just has it out for dogs apparently, for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
And then yeah, Annie is in her house still, and then she goes into the garage.
The laundry room or something.
Oh fuck! We'll just skip that. Nothing happens. It's filler.
Just
There's a lot of people going around and checking doors, and they're always unlocked or whatever and open. There's a lot of that. I think there was like 4 or 5 times that
oh
happened.
my god, you were just like, the music was kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, oh my god, like something's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
then it was just nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael did appear here and there, but it was like, why didn't you just kill her?
Yeah. Well,
Is
then
there like a reason he just like stalks for so long, or is it just like, was it just a director, like, idea?
I think it's just part of his character because that's what he does in the opening. Like he just
He kind of just like
He-
looms.
yeah, he's like what's a word for it? Fuck.
Guess he enjoys the like the build up towards the inevitable stab. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just part of his method.
I guess so. Yeah. So then we've got the next kill. I guess his first on-screen kill. An hour into the film.
Yeah, an hour by this point.
Yeah. So Annie wants to meet up with her boyfriend Paul. Paul. Sorry.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
So she rings him up, and they're doing some banter, doing some horny teenage things, whatever.
Okay. So sorry to stop you right there, but damn, this movie was horny though.
Oh my god,
Bro.
everyone's.
The character's so exaggerated.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's got their boobs out.
Or they're just like straight moaning or groaning or just something. And it was
Yeah.
like, wow, I could not imagine acting that out right now. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
For sure. So yeah, we got our first kill. She goes to get a car to drive over to Paul's, and she opens up the car, and the glass is all fogged up.
Conveniently.
That's so fucking sick. Yeah, because Michael's in the back. He's doing his heavy
Doing his
breathing.
heavy breathing, fogging up. I'm not sure I didn't think about that.
That's such a cool detail.
If that is the reason, then yeah, no.
Yeah, it would be, because he was just
Shit.
doing his heavy breathing in the back seat, fogging up the glass.
And that's why she touched the glass in the front.
Yeah,
Yo! I didn't actually pick up on that.
yeah. And then he reaches up from the back and chokes her out, and then he gives her the most awkward slash on the neck. And
It like literally wasn't even like really shown. We didn't even see a wound or blood.
No.
Was there even any blood?
I don't think
She
so.
kind of just
Went limp.
Like was choking her for like ages,
Mm.
and then he was just like actually just like
Yeah, it looked like
sliced, and you just see the knife is kind of just going past her neck, and then she just kind of like
goes limp.
it just like flops down. And
Yeah.
I was like, Roger.
Yeah. And yeah, that just... So I checked the time code after the first kill, and I was like, fucking hour in. And I was like, I remember this movie being way longer and having way more stuff in it.
I thought so too. That is so bizarre.
Yeah.
Because we watched it, eh?
I just... There's just so many, and I think we've modelled some of them up.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
And that's another thing with this movie. It feels minimal.
Very.
Like, there's a lot of people just faffing about talking and whatever, and then Michael's just in the background, which I enjoy.
I mean, like, I guess it is trying to capture, like, normal teenage activities.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like, it's like, okay, yeah, like, look, this is a normal town. There's no, like, crazy shit happening. Like,
Yeah, yep.
I guess that's what they were trying to display
Yeah, I get
to
that.
the audience. You know what I mean? Like, they were just like, yeah, like, we don't need all this, like, outrageous side plots and all this exciting shit. Like, we'll just have, like, real, like, just
Yeah.
slice of life, I think is what it's called.
That's spot on, yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. The first... so the reason Michael is, I guess, after Laurie is because her dad's a realtor, and I think he's managing to sell it to someone, and he asked Laurie to drop the keys off, and then Michael sees her at his house, and that obviously upsets him in some way.
That was his only motivation, to just stalk her for like an hour and a half.
I guess so, yeah.
Just saw her like pull up to her house with the keys, and he
Mm.
was like, target acquired.
Yeah. So she drops the keys off, and then there's another shot she's in school, and she looks out the window, and he's standing right there.
It's just right behind the car. You just see his head
Yeah.
above the car. You're
Yep.
just like, damn, alright.
And that's before we see his actual face, so you can see his like
Just like
a shape, you could say.
goofy silhouette.
Is that a Dead by Daylight reference?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. A bit slow to the chase, but yeah, we got there.
No, yeah, it's good because you don't see his face until
Like the last like 10 minutes, really.
well, not even. I think it's earlier than that. Like,
Really?
yeah, the first time you see his like full mask is the first kill.
Yeah, no, the face mask. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then, fuck, what happens next? There's just a lot of exposition,
There's a lot of like just nothing, but
which is fine
yeah, like,
because it's cut in between. Like you've got, the teenagers talking, then Michael's in the background, and then it'll cut to the sheriff and Loomis talking, and then telling everyone how awful Michael is and whatever, and then eventually we get our second kill, and that is Bob and I can't remember her name.
that chick,
The third
that
girl.
third chick we cannot remember.
So they rock up to Annie's house and no one's home because obviously Michael's killed Annie and taken it. Oh, that's right. So after Michael kills Annie, Tommy across the road, he looks out the window and he can see Michael carrying her corpse, which terrifying, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too pleased if I looked out my window and saw that shit.
Well, yeah, because
Tell you that much.
there was a few times where Tommy was like, "Oh, I see the boogeyman, whatever."
Shut up, dumb kid.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, idiot. What are you talking about?
Oof.
And then you see this, fucking ghost looking motherfucker carrying this dead girl. You'd be shitting bricks, right?
Definitely.
So then so second kill of the movie, and third, I guess, Bob and this chick, they're up in Annie's bed, I assume, which is a bit odd.
I don't know. Yeah.
And they're rolling around. Best
Yeah.
3 seconds of our life, I assume.
Yeah.
That scene was so awkward.
Tell him, oh my god.
He put in a good performance. It's a good 3 seconds.
Triple pump that shit. And
Yeah.
it's done.
And then, so they roll over it. They roll off each other.
Yeah.
And then Bob says, "Get me a beer, will you?" And then she's like, "No, you get the beer, idiot." So he's like, "All right." So he goes downstairs, and then
Folds like the simp he is. Sorry, yeah, continue.
so then Michael's downstairs as well, and this is another minor nitpick I have. Michael stabs Bob. Oh, sorry. Before he does that, he lifts him off the ground with one hand
One-handed.
by the
Straight
neck.
arm and that shit.
Yep, and then gets his other hand, stabs him in the chest with a knife, and it holds him up. He's like a foot off the ground. It's a cool shot though, like when it pans back.
It's a good idea, but holy shit, that knife is not long enough. Nor there's no way he had enough force to
No.
push that knife through an entire human, like adult body essentially,
And hold it up.
and enough through the wall. What is that material even made of? It was wood, right?
Yeah, this was like a
What is
cupboard
that?
door, I think.
Anyways, but yeah, no, like yeah, straight through him,
Mm.
and then he was just straight hanging,
Yeah.
straight chilling. And I was like, that is not how that works whatsoever.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's got to be ungodly strong, which wouldn't surprise me considering he can fucking one arm someone.
Yeah. Yep.
But
And lift a tombstone straight out of the ground.
oh,
And so then it cuts back to the bedroom where that chick is there. I still can't remember her fucking name. And then Michael comes in with like a bed sheet. It looks like a
bed
ghost.
sheet with his glasses
And
on.
then he's got his glasses
Wearing
on.
Bob's glasses, yeah.
And then this chick's, trying to flirt with him and whatever. And then,
Bro's just heavy breathing.
yeah, just heavy breathing it and then doesn't say anything. So she gets sick of him and she's like, all right, get fucked. I'm out of here. So she gets up and I think she calls up Laurie. Yeah, she calls up Laurie. And then Michael comes up behind her and wraps the telephone.
The telephone cable around it.
And starts choking her out. And then Laurie's like, hello? And then she's getting choked out. And then she's like, okay, that's grow up.
We didn't want to hear your squealing noises. Like, damn, okay, we get it, you're having fun, but like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, this shit was so, like, why was this show so horny?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just very odd. Like, Annie Loki, like, thought, or Laurie, sorry, Loki thought she was, like, what? Getting down and dirty?
Yeah.
And she was Loki just getting fucking strangled and killed.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure.
Yeah. I think this movie, it has a lot of moments where it's like, that was kind of funny, but I don't think it was meant to be funny.
Probably not.
It's got a lot of unintentional humor, which is I enjoy, and I would love to know if at the time people watching it also thought it was hilarious. I doubt it though. So there's something I noticed when Laurie is, outside running around, whatever.
Mhm.
There's a serious lack of Halloween decorations. I don't know if you picked up on this.
Actually, now that you mention it,
Yeah, there's like fuck
isn't that
all.
the point of the movie? Halloween Halloween night in a suburban neighborhood.
Yeah, I saw like there's like jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins and whatever.
Like one on that one particular house.
Yeah, but other than that, there's nothing. There's not a single decoration
even
inside.
those costumes as kids were around a week, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would have to be because,
The budget of the film.
sorry, it's burped. Budget as well as because they were shooting in a neighborhood. It'd be hard to get everyone to decorate their houses in Halloween get up or whatever. Because I'm assuming they did not shoot it around Halloween time.
Oh, probably not.
So now we're getting to the good part. So Laurie's, she goes over to look for Annie, and she goes up the stairs, and then she opens up the bedroom door, and it's that blonde chick. No, it is Annie.
Yeah,
sorry.
Annie, the one sprawled out on the bed.
Yep, and then with the tombstone
With a tombstone.
at the end of the bed, and she's like splayed out and whatever, and then Laurie's obviously fucking pretty upset by that, as you would.
Yeah.
And she's like stumbling backwards, and then she bumps.
Freaking out.
Yeah, and she bumps into the cupboard door, and then out comes Bob swinging down.
Hanging down, bro. Like, what?
And then she's stumbling around some more, and then I think she opens
Like
like
a little cabinet door or something, or just
Yeah.
open or whatever.
and there's that blonde chick stuffed in
Yeah,
there.
she was like, what, in half? Bisected?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, sure, okay, he just bisected her. Just put her in a cabinet.
yeah.
Okay, Michael, we see where you at.
Okay, so yeah, Michael's hiding in the closet. So it's like she's leaned up against the wall and she's like crying and distraught and whatever. And then there's a cupboard behind her and it's pitch black. And then Michael slowly walks forward and you can see his face coming to view.
Face with the moonshine, like the moonlight.
It's fucking
Just
sick.
like,
That's
yeah.
probably one of my favourite shots in the film.
Mm.
And then Michael slashes her on the arm. Pretty.
Complete miss on
Yeah.
Michael's behalf. Like, isn't that your whole like gig is stabbing? How do you like not be good at it?
It's because she's the final girl, mate.
The
She can't.
MC, mate.
She can't die.
She is him.
So obviously she realizes she's in danger after that situation. So she runs down out of the house and she starts banging on all the neighbors' doors. Help! Help! Let me in! Let me in! And the neighbors look at her. They open up the blinds, look at her, and tell her to fuck off.
Oh, literally,
Shut the
like,
blinds.
she's freaking out. And they're like, no, just fucking see you later, I guess.
Yep.
What
So
the fuck? What was that about?
So Laurie keeps running, and then she runs to her house where she's babysitting Tommy,
and
Annie was babysitting as well. Lindsay.
yeah, then Lindsay.
Yep.
Got bring over to Tommy's place. He was also at.
Yep. So Laurie runs over there, and she's banging on the door. Tommy, help me! Let me in! Let me in! And because they were asleep when she left, and then obviously they're asleep, so they can't hear her banging on the door. So she grabs a pot plant and throws it up to the window.
Goes to the window, yeah, and wakes the little bro up.
Yep. And then so he runs down as slow as he can possibly
As
go.
nonchalantly as possible too. He's looked out the window and didn't see Michael like
Yeah.
clearly walking across the street.
Yep. So then it'll cut between Laurie banging on the door, it'll cut between Tommy walking towards the door, and then Michael slowly walking across the road. And that is probably one of the most intense scenes in the film. I think it's more intense than like the final confrontation.
You reckon?
Probably.
Just this menacingly like slow walk, and she
Yeah.
just is like.
He's not in a rush, bro.
He was not in a rush.
He knows that
They
he's
were
in
on
charge.
Michael time, bro.
Exactly. So Laurie eventually gets into the house, just missing Michael, and then she locks the doors and tells the kids to run upstairs.
Mm.
And then she realizes that like a window.
Yeah, it was like a weird looking window. It was
Yeah.
just like wide open.
Yep. And then she just collapses in front of the couch crying, and then Michael steps in, and then while she's crying, she reaches a hand over and grabs a knitting needle, and
Big fuck off, like what, 12 fucking inch sub.
and then so Michael leans over the couch, goes to stab her, misses.
Completely misses, just straight into the fucking couch cushion.
Yeah.
Like that's twice in a row now, bro. What's she doing?
And then so she spins around and stabs him right in the neck with this needle, and then he collapses. And then she's like, "All right, that's it. We're good. We're sweet. He's dead."
All right, but can we talk about why does he just casually collapse and then we'll just like rise up?
Yeah, he loves playing dead. Like,
Is he like aware of that fact, or is he just like recharging his like batteries? Like, what's going on there?
it's just cool down.
Is this cooldown of his abilities? You know, can't stalk for too long. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, she sends the kids upstairs, and then she follows after him, and then she hides in the closet. And this is probably another one of my favorite scenes as well. Obviously, it's the highlight of the movie.
Oh, definitely the final like
That was-
confrontation.
that was a hot take, wasn't it?
Climax, the movie.
That was a hot take. I really enjoyed that scene. Good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's hiding in the closet, and then you can see the light coming through the slats in the closet door, and then it's suddenly blocked out by Michael's shadow, which is so fucking
You
sick.
see his like silhouette of the shadow just like casually, menacingly walking past, and you're like, oh shit.
Yep. And then he tries to unlock the door, but she
like roped it tight.
she like tied it shut or whatever.
Yeah.
So he just starts bashing through the slats, and he gets through, and he's sticking his hand there, waving about whatever, and he pulls the light on, and then Laurie's fucking panicking.
Fucking tweaking out.
She's freaking out, and then so she grabs a coat hanger, and then when he finally gets in, she reaches up, pokes him in the eye. Terrible shit.
Yeah, look. Okay.
I saw you when that happened. I was like,
no.
you're thinking the same thing. It was a weird shot because it looked like it didn't connect at all.
No, it didn't. It looked like it was nowhere near his face, and then he just kind of stumbled back like, oh my eye.
Yeah.
And then what? He drops his knife.
Yeah, he drops the knife in the closet, and
Really?
Laurie picks it up, and I think she stabs him after
Yeah,
that.
it does. Stabs him in the chest.
Yep.
Then he proceeds to fake die once again.
The second time.
Second time.
And then so Laurie's like, all right, that's it. He's dead. That's it. No, for realsies this time. No takebacks.
Yeah.
And so she sends the kids across the road. She's like, okay, we're done.
Go to the Mackenzie's house and call the police.
Yep.
Send them out.
Yep. And then so she just collapses. She takes 5. And then there's a shot where she's up against the wall, and then Michael's laying down flat. And he slowly
And
just
he
rises
just like goes like up.
like a
And
90
I'm just
degrees.
Like, oh shit.
That's a cool shot.
Real slowly and menacingly too.
Yeah. And then after that, there's a bit of a chase scene where Michael gets up, tries to go after her, whatever, and then Loomis comes running up the stairs, and I think Laurie rips his mask off, which I completely forgot about. I didn't know you can
Straight up face reveal.
yeah you just he's got his face hanging out,
Yeah.
which I completely forgot about, and then Loomis, I think it's so funny. Loomis waits for him to put his mask back on before he shoots
Before
him.
he starts shooting him, yeah.
And yeah, he shoots him once, and I think it might have been a headshot.
He hit him in the head.
It might have been a
It
headshot.
looked like he got shot in the fucking head, and yet, bro, just casually still standing.
Yep. And then so he stumbles back, and then Loomis follows him and pops like, what is it, 2 more on the chest?
Oh, like 4.
Oh, fuck, probably that.
It's like 4 bullets in him.
And then he stumbles back and
Falls off the balcony.
falls off the balcony, which I don't know if you know. That I want to say trope. Maybe that's right.
Trope, Roger.
Well, that's been done so many times in the series. I think it's been done like 3 more times.
Oh, just that exact like scenario.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, he
Falling
fell
out the balcony.
That's goofy.
But then yeah, so then Loomis checks down the checks over the balcony. He's like, "Oh, sweet, dead for realsies this time."
Dead for like like stabbed in the neck, stabbed in the chest, poked in the eye with a coat hanger, shot in the head. It looked like could be wrong. And then what proceeded to get lit up in the chest 4 or 5 more times. Falls off a balcony. That's at least like
2 stories.
2 stories worth.
Yep.
Splats on his back.
And Loomis is like, "Righto, we're sweet,
He's got to be dead now.
100%."
And then would you please enlighten the viewers on what happens next, Ben?
He's not dead.
He's not dead.
So Loomis looks back over the balcony and vanished. Cue the music, boys.
And that's a wrap.
Guess what?
Holy fuck.
We're getting a sequel.
We're getting... I can't wait for the next 4.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
So, okay. I've got some trivia planned for you.
Oh, really?
So, the original plan for the Halloween series, are you familiar with Halloween 3?
To a degree.
Okay, so
Bits and pieces.
so the third movie, Season of the Witch, has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Yeah.
It's a plot about this like toy company that makes these Halloween masks, and the owner of the company's plan is to use these masks to kill like hundreds of thousands of kids across America. It's so dumb.
Roger.
But the plan was John Carpenter's and Deborah Hill's original plan for the series
Yeah.
was to make like a Twilight Zone thing where every movie was a different story.
Oh, that would have been way better, actually.
It would have been interesting. So Michael was meant to that was meant to be it for him. But
One and done situation.
yeah, which if you look at this in a vacuum, that'd be fucking sick because Michael is written to be a boogeyman. Like, there's no way a normal human could survive that. He just gets up and walks away. And if that was the end of the series, peak. That'd be such a sick ending if it was in a vacuum.
I think you got a point there.
But then because it made so much money and everyone was such a fan of Michael. They were demanding a sequel, which we got. And then the writers of that movie were like, righto, that's it. No more Michael. And I think in the second movie, he does definitively, in quotation marks, definitively die. And then so they pick up on the third movie where it has nothing to do with him. And then because that movie bombed so fucking hard, they're like, okay, guys.
Bring bro back.
Yep. So like, okay, guys, we're so sorry. Here you go. And then so number 4 is called Return of Michael Myers. And that would have sold a lot of tickets.
God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the stabbing sound effect, and I think you only hear about 2, is a knife stabbing a watermelon.
Okay.
Good trivia.
Good trivia.
So Robert Englund of the Nightmare on Elm Street film series, he plays Freddy Krueger, revealed in an interview that John Carpenter had him throw bags of dead leaves on set for one day.
Okay.
That's fucking awesome.
Throw bags of leaves.
Yeah. So for because it's
more like
like that autumny vibe.
yeah, to get like the ambiance right, if you will.
So you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, look, like obviously I wasn't there when the movie first came out, so it's never gonna encapsulate the magic that spawned from it. But it's iconic, solid soundtrack, surprisingly decent cinematography, and just all around okay plot. For what it was,
It's simple.
I didn't think it was bad. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's tense.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some good atmospheric moments.
Yep.
Overall, solid watch. But there were definitely a few flaws, but better.
Yeah, it's all just like
nitpicky.
Yeah, that's what it is. This is nitpicky stuff because, like I said, if in a vacuum, this movie on its own, fantastic. There would be many complaints.
If it was just the one and done, I reckon.
I think I hate the thought that I have, which is some movies are brought down by sequels.
Like some franchises get like real dragged through the mud because of their crappy sequels.
Yeah, like sometimes it worsens the original. I think this one is, I don't know.
I'm susceptible to that idea.
Yeah, because if they did follow through with that like Twilight Zone plan that they had, I think this movie would have been made 10 times better.
They could have introduced like a whole universe then.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michael's in whatever state he's in, and then have like another killer in like a completely different state.
Yeah.
They could do like some like Freddy vs Jason type shit, for, like the 10th installment.
Yeah. But it's not surprising to see that this started the slasher genre because, like I said, it's a simple plot and it's easy to replicate. I think if you look at Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, whatever, it's easy to replicate because it was such a bare bones plot. But just the idea of like some fucking lunatic, some crook cunt
Lurking in your streets, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something very unsettling about that.
Yeah. I feel so bad for saying this.
Lay it on us.
I'm going to have to take these rose tinted glasses off for a second.
Yep.
Not as good as I remember.
No, I was scared to say it. We're not experts, guys. We just try hard.
Don't listen to a word we say.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. Like before I just watched it, I was like, yeah, this movie's like good. Like it's good, but like, damn, it has aged not fine.
I don't know. I think it aged well, but I think don't cancel me. I think it might be a little bit overrated.
Ooh,
it's good.
I can hear the pitchforks
No,
clanking, bro.
I know. It's good. It's great even. But if you look at, I don't want to make this comparison, but if you look at The Thing, that movie, like every single scene, every single character just chews up the scenery.
Just eats,
bro. Eats good. But then in this one, it kind of drags in some parts.
Like, what was that whole entire Annie stuck in the window bullshit?
Yeah, we didn't talk.
We didn't talk about that because it was just so irrelevant.
Nothing.
It was nothing, bro.
So Annie goes out to the laundry, and I don't know what the fuck she's doing. She's doing the laundry, and then she locks herself in, and she's like,
oh, I gotta go through the door that's directly opposite the room, like.
And then she gets stuck, and then she calls in Lindsay, and then it's just what? Come on, it just feels like padding.
It was like a weird half door, so she opened the top half and tried to like, I guess, climb over it. Although she is meant to be high still, but still though, like half a joint should not make you that fucking hectic.
Yeah.
And then she just proceeds to just like kind of like lay on the door.
Yeah,
and just like kind of hang on it, and it was just like, I'm stuck, Lindsay. Like, damn, I didn't think this was like an X video. Damn, like, chill.
Yeah, this movie feels like it's got a lot of filler and
A lot of filler.
a lot of filler.
A lot of filler.
But then, like I said, if you look at the thing, every single scene, every single character is just.
Just like every moment of this movie was just like thought out.
I'm not bored for a single second watching the thing, but then you look at Halloween, and I hate to say it, it kind of drags.
Kind of boring.
Sometimes it drags. However, Michael, every single scene and shot that Michael's in, fantastic.
Absolutely.
But then you look at like the teenager stuff, and I know you want to make likable characters, so that, like, you know, you're upset when
So
they die.
relatable. Oh my god. Yeah, we get it, but like, Jesus.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do numbered
Oh, no.
scores because that shit's so cringe.
Oh yeah, for real. No, I'm just like, I reckon, like, you know, if you're in the market for like that old classic horror, give it a watch. Give it a
100%.
rewatch. You know, it's like a founding pillar of like the slasher genres we keep obviously saying.
Yeah.
So, you know, can't bag it out too much, and it was first of its kind,
Mm.
so we can't, you know,
Give it too much
fucking
shit.
flame him too much for it. But
Yeah.
yeah, on a rewatch, I would just say it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
Like, the good was good, but the bad was bad, so therefore it kind of evens out to just like, okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my final take.
Yeah, I think if you look at every single slasher movie, it's probably easily one of the best. All right, so that's been our review of Halloween.
That's been a review of Halloween. We thought it was okay.
We thought it was like
Solid, but the bad was bad. So the solid stuff, you know, whatever. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Final
on a-
conclusion.
it's on a pedestal, and I think we need to
We need to like humble it a bit, if you will.
But also, we don't know anything about movies or anything, so don't
So do
listen
keep
to
that in mind. We are
Um,
just fucking professional yappers at this point.
us. Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Full-time bullshitters. So
Jack of all trades, master of none, if you will.
all right, so next week we're going to be talking about another John Carpenter film. We're going to be doing The Thing,
You
and
certainly are.
we're going to be doing a little bit more prep, a little bit more homework,
Oh,
because
definitely.
this episode is our first review, and we're a little bit all over the shop, and that's fine.
It's
We'll kind of,
a learning stone for us all.
yeah, we'll pick it up as we go. But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, no, cheers, guys.
This is the outro.
This is the outro. Hit that shit, man.
Subscribe and like.
Smash like, subscribe type shit.
See yous.
Like
Bye.
glitter, stars start to fade.